So I remember for the parents, as you are preparing, get ready to fill out that FAFSA. Students, student athletes, make sure you start early. Just because when it's open at January 1st, doesn't mean you wait until January 1st to start gathering all the materials. Just to give you kind of a heads up how the FAFSA work. Again, it's government money. It depends on what's your family contribution going to be. So as a quick example, if there was $100 in a pool of money and 10 people apply for it, as soon as you apply for it, they'll know how much money you're going to get. But if you wait, you're like the 11th or 12th person, well, with 100 people in front of you, they've already got some of that money. So you want to get that faster, get this stuff prepared ahead of time. Don't wait until October to start getting your stuff prepared. Really, you want to start getting around September, start gathering information. You're going to need your parents' W-2s, you're going to need your tax forms, you're going to need all the jobs, if you had any summer jobs or employment. So you're going to need to put all that stuff, put all that information on there as well. And again, when you start registering for the National Eligibility Center, some of those checklists of things will actually be on there as well. And again, for some of the student athletes, obviously that are here today, and of course your parent. So just kind of a rundown a quick rundown on how our Penn State football schedule was. We have to be up in the morning, right around 4:45 to 5 o'clock to work out from 5:30 to around 7 o'clock. Then we have mandatory breakfast from 7 o'clock to around 7:45. And we have class usually from 8 o'clock until around 12 o'clock. And then we have mandatory lunch from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And then we have to be at the facility if we need to be taped. We need to see a coach. We need to be there by 1:30 until 2 o'clock. And then we watch film from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And then there was practice time from 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock. And then it was dinner time from 5:15 to 6:45. And then there were those that did not have over a 2.8 GPA, you had to go to study hall from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. And then that was the end of the night. And then we could start all over again the next day. So just as Celine was talking about those, if you are late for school now in high school, and as those admission counselors, and typically at Division I level, just my experience at Division I level, there's a team of people that reviews all of your transcripts and everything you've done in school. A team of people. So there's 4, 5, 6 people that look at your information. So they're not going to just give you weight on one thing. Hey, you might have a 4.0 GPA. What kind of student athlete are you? What type of curriculum did you have in school? Did you push yourself? Did you challenge yourself? What type of club programs were you in? A lot of factors go into admitting a student to that school or university. Because remember, their number one thing they're looking for is to find out if you are actually going to be a contributing alumni at that school. So when they're determining on how they're going to select you to go to that school, that's what they're thinking about. Now, of course, Penn State obviously was one of the greatest schools in the universe, but today we'll allow our next speaker to come up here, Tim Massaquoi, who won the University of Michigan, unfortunately. But we'll have him come up, and Tim again, he's a Philly guy. He's from around this area, but played in the NFL with three different years. We'll have Tim come up and give his rendition of what it's like in this college recruiting process. Okay, so Tim, come on out. Give him a slight round of applause.
So when you were giving the rundown, it was like it was traumatizing. It was a flashback. But then you forgot. When you got back to the dorm, you actually had to write the paper that they helped you prepare, right? So you were doing that from about 10 to about 2 o'clock the next day. So that was the last piece of that day, but that was exactly the type of thing you would go through. First, I want to thank Councilman for having us, James, and for having me. I think it's important to us who are here today, who committed to coming here, to look around the room and see that there's two things that's going on to me. There's a commitment of people student athletes who heard about this opportunity and were here. But then Romans in the city of Philadelphia from within. And to me, that's an issue. And I say this is an issue because while I went to high school, I went to Parkland High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania, this room was in full standing room, not even home. because those parents and those athletes understood the importance of an opportunity to talk about furthering your life past high school and trying to go get a college education. And I think that's a piece that is missing, and I was so excited about this opportunity because I knew this is a chance for us to try to instill that in the city of Philadelphia. So I thank you guys for coming today. I'm excited about my role in the Blue Chip program, and I can't wait to get started with my student athletes. The thing I will say about my experience is I didn't do it on my own at all. I did not do anything on my own. It took a village, literally, of people who supported me and pushed me to continue to try to be great every day. I didn't just play football, I ran track, and I played basketball. And all my coaches were on me. They were on me about making the right decision, on me about not hanging in the hallways, chasing after girls and going to class, and on me about studying. When my aunt would threaten me, I grew up with my aunt Allentown, she would threaten me about taking my sports away, they would call me and give me a harder time than she would, because they knew how important it was to her, and they knew she wasn't playing around with. If you didn't turn that paper in, you're not playing for anything. And I was a pretty good player, so they needed me for that game. But it's really important to take advantage of an opportunity where people are supporting you and around you and standing behind you and see you be successful. That's one thing. So after my career in the NFL, very short, very brief career, I'll be honest. Injuries, of course, I think this day-old story. But I came back to Philadelphia. I came to Philadelphia because I wanted to work in the city. And I worked in Philadelphia High School. And so I worked as a college access counselor. So where you had the college counselors here, I was on the other side trying to help kids go to college. And the consistent theme I saw in the schools were the lack of importance on sports in Philadelphia High School. I worked in 3 high schools, so it was pretty consistent. And your big sports, your football team, your basketball team, unless you were that star, you really didn't see it as an opportunity. You were just doing it just to kind of hang out a little bit. So the commitment to going to practice, to not doing things that other kids did, to honestly not sell drugs or go hang out or, not go to practice, it wasn't there because the emphasis on what it could do for you, not as a athlete going pro, but as a person, it's really lacking. The things that football taught me, those are the things I carry to work with me every day. When you talk about tenacity, trying to get better, relentlessness and hard work ethic, that's what football taught me. Those are the things that are invaluable. And I didn't learn that in the NFL, I learned that in college, and I learned that in high school. So those traits are instilled in me. Right now I run a youth shelter, and I work with those kids, those traumatized kids every day. And I come to them every day and say one good thing about this person. And they don't, and I say, no, I need you to say one positive thing about this person. And they say it, and it's weird at first. But like we were talking about earlier, once you continue doing it, having them look in that mirror, once you continue instilling these things in them, they start to get it. So when I come around the corner, they're ready. They're ready to say that positive thing, or they're ready to have that affirmation like, I want to be great today. So I preach greatness to my kids every day because nobody has preached it to them. But sports taught me that. Playing sports every day, all seasons, AAU basketball, track, 7-on-7 camps, football, regular football season, basketball season, all that stuff taught me those things, how to keep working hard. And I couldn't have done it without people in my life. So the parents here, your role is absolutely critical in the success of your child. It's important because it's not saying that you're going to go to college and get a scholarship and go pro and this and that. No, it's important to show, because you're showing that you believe in them. Whether they go that far or not, you believe in them. And you're talking about them and bringing them around people who talk about college and being successful and moving forward. And it's really instilling something. So for you guys, if you guys have made it out here today, you got a couple of obstacles and a couple of things you're going to have to make a decision about when you try to pursue your sports. You're going to have to sacrifice some stuff. Very early on, I will say I sacrificed a lot. When you talk about my social life, I didn't have a social life. I was on the field, I was in the gym, I was on the track, so I didn't really have time to have a social life. And that's a sacrifice. And out of that sacrifice, sometimes you save yourself. Because there's a lot of times where I didn't go to an event and it ended up being an event that something tragic happened. And it was because I was focused at a game the next day, or I had to practice, or I had to travel, and it really helped me to stay busy. So understand that you're gonna have to sacrifice a good time. You're gonna have to sacrifice a good time, relationships, whether it be intimate or friendships. You're gonna have to make those sacrifices because they're not helping you get to where you want to get to. And sometimes people don't know. Sometimes people don't know that you got a mindset that's over here and over here. So what you can do for those people, if you see who they really are, you just say, listen, I'm trying to do this. Can you help me? I need you to help me. If they don't respond to you, but you know what, I'm gonna support you, you know who that person is. Really understand the importance of that. Really understand the importance of putting people in a position where they have to help you reach your goal. Because they'll decide to support you, or they'll decide that they don't want to do any part of it. So, but back to the process. For me, the process was, I got my first scholarship in 10th grade, sophomore. We're talking about somebody getting a scholarship early. I got my first scholarship from Rutgers University as a sophomore in high school. And I didn't, I think I was one of the first kids to get a Division I scholarship at that time. So it was a big deal, but I was still too young to really grasp that. And so with that, I struggled in math. And so one of the sacrifices I had to do my junior year was to go to the class with the kids with disabilities. I had to go as a junior to that class with kids with disabilities because that was the only time one of the teachers in there would have time to tutor me. So my friends would see me going in there a lot and they laughed. And that, as a high schooler, that's heartbreaking. But I knew that was going to help me get better and improve my math scores on my SATs. So I had to go in there every day, and I went in there, and it helped me improve my SAT scores so that I could get my scholarship. So that's what I'm talking about when we say sacrifices and having people around you support you. It's really important to understand what you're trying to do and put yourself in that position no matter what. Don't let anybody step in your way of trying to achieve your goal. Nobody. All right? Because if they're not trying to help you, they're trying to stop you. Last thing I'll say is I'm going to work with my guys and I'm going to be here because I understand the importance of having somebody in your life who believes in you and having that mentor. I had a lot of great mentors. I didn't know it until I was on the other side of the fence, meaning I was an older person, and to realize how many people were supporting me that I didn't realize they were supporting me. I thought it was just my coaches, my head coaches and assistant coaches or my parents, but it was like people in the neighborhood, just, my friends, my family, just people really, really going after and supporting me and trying to see me achieve what I wanted to achieve. So I'm going to try to be that person for my guys, for my sport. I'm going to try to be that person. So please reach out to me. If you have any questions, I'm going to leave you my information for the football players. I want to see you guys be successful. So that's why I'm here today, and I'm going to commit to helping you guys achieve your dreams. Thank you.